Hey, welcome back to Harvesting Income. Today I'm going to talk about an interesting fund, which is a covered call exchange traded fund. And it basically writes out the money calls 2% above the current market price. And also, it generates double digit dividend yields. So that's interesting. And they write calls on an index, like just like S&P or Nasdaq, they write calls on the index. um, Guess what is the name of that fund? And right now I'm not going to reveal that, but stay till the end to know more about the fund. So keep watching. But before that, let's now look at how this works and at the dividends. I just looked at the fund for the last 8 months. And before I go into this, just wanted to give you a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. And secondly, this is a relatively new fund. It's hardly 8 months old, so it's too early to judge the performance. However, based on the information we have, seems to be an interesting fund with good um, dividend yields and also decent potential for appreciation. So, this fund was launched back in March 2024. And since then, if I look at the dividends like November, October, and going all the way to April, the average of all the dividends is about 72 cents. Like it's varies from month to month. The maximum is 93 cents and the minimum is 51 cents. Average 72 cents. And if I take the monthly average and multiply by 12, I get the 8.63, which is the annualized dividend. The fund price is currently $48.08. And based on that, the yield comes to 18%. So this is the 18% yield we are getting on this fund. And let's say the dividends vary month to month. Let's say these dividends are able to sustain at the same level. You can probably expect around 18% by the end of the year, like by the time they complete 12 months. However, this is not guaranteed and this is not subject to change. We never know what's the future performance. So I did another level of analysis to see what can happen if the fund is able to generate only the minimum amount of dividends. For example, if you see here the dividends paid, the minimum they could do is 51 cents in the month of June. That can be seen as some kind of a lower base. So to take a conservative estimate, I've used this lower number, minimum dividend per month, and to estimate the annual dividend, which comes to about $6.06. And based on the fund price, the yield still comes to 12.6%. So even if I take a conservative estimate, I'm getting a double digit yield. Like this is pretty good. And on top of this, the fund also writes covered calls 2% above the current market level, basically 2% out the money, which means it writes calls with a provision for about 2% upside on a monthly basis. So every month you are able to get that 2% upside capture while also enjoying the dividend yields. That's like a beautiful option where you can get high level of dividend yields plus also decent capital appreciation. Okay, now I'll quickly go to what you are waiting for and I'll just explain more about this fund. And if you want to know, please stay till the end. And I'll just quickly show you the fund here. The name of the fund is iShares Russell 2000 Buy Right ETF. It's also called IWMW. That's the ticker symbol. And currently it's about $48 price. And the expense ratio is 0.39. Looks like an attractive option. And what is the fund all about? It basically it's about target enhanced income. They help you make a monthly income by selling monthly covered calls on the Russell Index, representing U.S. small cap equities, and it's efficient, cost efficient, convenient, etc. So these are the advantages, and it's a diversified basket of stocks or companies. So that's the advantage here. And if you look at this closely here in the key facts, so basically here they say that it's a 2% out the money buy right index. So they write calls 2% above the current market level and able to capture the upside. So currently, when we look at the performance, I'll go back to my sheet. You can see that the fund is able to generate at least around 12% yields, but we have only 12 months of data because the fund was launched back in March 2024, and so far they have been able to give this performance. It's too early to say, but because it's not even completed 1 year, but I'm hoping that they will be able to generate about 12 to 15% in terms of dividend yield, plus uh, a marginal capital appreciation or capital loss a little bit there, and that would provide a good option for people who want to generate income out of the Russell 2000 index. The reason why they have this 2% out the money is because Russell 2000 is more volatile, and there is a huge potential for harvesting those dividend yields. And you can see here the distribution yield quoted by the fund is about 21%. But according to my calculations, it's close to 18% based on the past historical average, and using the annualized calculations, I'm getting about 18%. But the fund reports about 21%. So anyway, whichever way you look at it, you are getting higher double-digit returns in somewhere in the teens, and that's a great option for income investors. If you are looking at investing in the index, like there are two different options. One is the S&P 500, and the other would be the Russell 2000 buy right ETF. And you can pick any funds offered by iShares or any other fund company. This is not a recommendation. However, I think this fund has a good potential in the future for most conservative as well as moderate investors. I hope you like the video, and I hope you will find this useful, and we'll keep a track of this fund and see how it performs. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.